he's at. His corner speed, his exit speed, it's next level. I'm surprised more people didn't crash in that section.
Hey, Hayden, I'm sorry for stopping Daddy.
Well, let's get into it. Round 4 from Houston, Texas. Let's do it.
What's up?
Hi, guys. You know who it is. Your boy, JS7. And we coming from you from round 4 from Houston, Texas. Why is my voice like this? Because just like the competition, when they saw Cooper Webb win, they were like, damn, the champ's back. Is the champ back? Well, we're going to find out. I got a couple things to say about that, but it was good to see Cooper Webb back on here, number 1. He wasn't so mean, Maggin. He was actually smiling this weekend. We saw E.T. go over the handlebars, but recover. I saw a lot of things from E.T. that I haven't seen probably since last time I seen it. I don't think I've ever seen it. And then we witnessed Danger Boy do his thing again, really just slapping them fools everywhere. He's definitely on a different level. Those guys, they shook. We thought maybe Max would come back, but Max, I guess, ain't about that life. Hayden is, but it was good to see. We saw some things for some other guys. So you know what we got to do, people. Let's get into it. Round 4 from Houston, Texas. Let's do it. All right, coming into Houston, there was a little, what do they call them, kids? 6, 7s? That was a little bit of this going on. We really wasn't sure what was going on. A lot of people thought maybe the first 2 rounds with Eli Tomac, just, hey, track conditions. He can't be that good on a KTM. Well, I think he's still pretty good. With Chase Sexton find his form, was that win back at Anaheim 2, round 3, the last race? Was he going to be back on level? And was it over for Cooper Webb? Well, we kind of got an answer on all those. Hunter Lawrence, it just does what Hunter Lawrence does. But here in Houston, it was the first time we got to a football stadium. It was really fast. Track layout looked really fun, but it was really high speed. A lot of 180s, some rhythm sections that caught a couple guys off cue, but nonetheless, it was good to be back in Houston. The crowd seemed pretty good. It was cold down here in Florida. Looked like it was cold from TV, but I was sitting in that 76-degree weather, which is kind of hot from my house. I was just nice and comfy. By the way, and it was a Triple Crown, so you know there was a lot of action, but overall, Houston was Houston. It seemed like they put a little bit more dirt, sand in the track, so it had more traction. And man, those guys were really sending it out there. The real question was, would it be a continuation of Chase? Did he find his form on the Kawasaki? Or was the first 2 races just the first 2 races for Eli, and he'll come back into semi-retirement mode? Well, we found out pretty quickly which one of those was true. So we'll start with E.T. I know normally I start with Cooper Webb, but Cooper Webb's going to be, I'm going to get in depth with him. Let's talk about E.T. I said last weekend, look, man, he was fine. Track conditions was tough. Didn't get the best to start, but hey, he was on the podium. I thought he looked just like he did the first 2 races. So coming in here, I had no doubts that E.T. would be as good as he was. But E.T., Eli Tomac, Eli Toastmac, whatever you want to call it, I saw a couple of things that I haven't ever seen for him. I'm going to go in and say it. It's the best I've ever seen him look. Facts. Facts. We could sit here and say, okay, is he faster on the Cowie or the Honda or the Yamaha? I don't care. The dude looks good on the bike, and I'm going to be the first person to say it. I didn't really see this level coming. Don't need to sit there and lie. You didn't see it coming either. We thought he was retired 3 years ago. We thought when he got off the Star Racing Yamaha, it was a wrap. We thought when he was going into KTM, it was going to be like McGrath back in the day. Hey, let's little farewell sing, bye-bye. There goes my hero. That's my boy, Ricky. That's his song. E.T. would have had to come up with. No. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because he's in Colorado, Florida. Who the hell knows where he's at? But all I know, E.T. is riding good. And there was a couple things that I saw this weekend that really solidified that for me. When we were watching E.T. come up through the packs, Eli, have you ever seen him be that aggressive towards other riders? I mean, not like he's aggressive, like, you know, anytime you come in and get close to Jason, you're fighting with fire right there. So I was like, dang. And I thought it was going to come back. But nonetheless, when E.T., like Eli, I feel like it's weird calling him E.T., but I'm going to call him E.T. because it's kind of extraterrestrial. Like he's out of this world. Anyways, when he's coming up through the pack, have you noticed it's like he just moves people, not Hayden Deegan-ish, you know, like, but the pass it means something. And the issue with Eli in the past, it used to be when he was in beast mode or he was coming, he had his flow mode. Eli flow mode. It was like if you could interrupt that, then like Hunter Lawrence did, then it would be over. Like he would have a hard time regrouping. Some races, he was just beast mode, like nobody was going to stop him. But a lot of times it was like once he was coming, if you upset that flow, he had a hard time getting back. What I see, just like I saw in San Diego, it's like the dude just drops back and he's like, okay, all right, I'm gonna go around you anyway. And we saw it in San Diego. It was like a confidence, like where he just kind of waited around. He was like, all right, I'm going. I just solidified. I am going to Waffle House. Gonna order me a smothered covered with cheese, flapjacks, butter. Gonna get my cholesterol up. That's what he was gonna do. But here in the Triple Crown, it was like he knew he didn't have time to waste, and he was just aggressively passing dudes. Like he can go wherever he wanted. When he was behind Cooper or Hunter Lawrence got back around them. He just went back around them, and it was good to see. And when he makes passes, he makes passes. Like, watch out, put your foot up. Like I said, it ain't Hayden Deegan style, teammate crime, but he ain't leaving much room. As El Hombre ran him off the track. And he got around him again. Jason, that is. He got around Jason this weekend, and he passed him again. And it was just different. You guys see the difference between what you see with Eli in the past. It just looks like he's having fun. The bike looks good. Yeah, he had that endo, and I said, hey, the only issue that I've seen is sometimes when he gets on the front that it just won't hold up. Like it's easy to over rotate. His crash was, I don't think had much to do with that. A lot of people was like, man, is it easy to hit the brake? Like, did he make a mistake? Honestly, I'm surprised more people didn't crash in that section because as a rider, all my riders know the worst thing is when you got a high speed section and then you got like an on off where it's a flat tabletop and you have to get over 3-footer, 4-footer, and then you got to slam into another jump. That high speed, man, it's like you really can't hit the brakes because once you get on the on off, as soon as you land on that and there's no lip, you got to gas it to go off. So if you come up a little short, you jump a little long on the tabletop, and then you got to get off, you smack that 3-footer, and it throws all your weight into that next jump. And that's what happened to Eli. So he comes up. I don't know if he was a little short or long, but he didn't get the lift. You can see the back end kicked, and he never got the lift on the front. And like I said, that's the worst thing to be in because it's such high speed. Once you go on off and you slam your body weight into that next one, it doesn't take much for you to end up over the handlebars. Like those brakes are sensitive. They real sensitive. So when Eli went over, it wasn't really surprising. Yeah, it was surprising that he went down. And boy, I don't know what it is lately. People be coming up short. They trying to do their best. Chance Hyman's impressed. Get well soon, Chance. Like Levi did last weekend, Eli did the same thing. He was able to jump off. The bike was like, bam, no more. Can't just get away from me. You're going to slam me down like this. But nonetheless, that was really easy to happen. And like I said, I was kind of surprised that it didn't happen more often only because of how fast those guys are going in that section. So it's one of the scarier things on a racetrack. At least it was for me. Those tight pockets these guys were trying to get into, like for sure, my bike didn't like it. It didn't like tight pockets at all. Nobody likes tight pockets, but for sure, the way I had my bike set up, really stiff, kind of like a little bit like Chase's bike. We'll get into that in a second. It was just really hard for me. So it was really scary for me. Maybe not as much for everybody else. But again, I was surprised guys didn't go down just because of how high speed that section was. And it does. Brandon was talking about earlier that the way the tracks were, and I noticed it, but I didn't really notice it. He was saying that maybe like some of the pockets, like the transitions, they seem really small. And I was like, yeah, no, I guess they do. When you go back to Anaheim, those guys were really struggling. I think a lot of that was just more the way the track was. It was really soft, so they got those ruts. But even San Diego seemed like he was like, man, these guys seem like they're slamming into the face compared to back in the day. I think what's happening is that when you get the high speed racetrack, and a few of them have been pretty high speed, and high speed, I mean, is 180s, and you got a whole, like a long rhythm section, or you have a start straight into a jump, those parts, I think what they're doing is building the rhythm sections. And instead of having, like this weekend, you have that on off, and then you have a tabletop over another single, that's almost like putting somewhat, not as gnarly, but it's the same thing. It's like putting a wall jump in there. Like it's trying to slow these guys down. So when I started looking at the racetrack, I have noticed that they'll have these, rhythm section into like a backward ski to where the guys will actually slam into it, which makes it seem like the transitions or they've done something different. What they've done is actually it seems like they just put a different jump. So instead of putting a wall jump in there, they're making it where these guys are rhythms off. So they slam into stuff or it really kind of slows them down, like this weekend with the tabletop, to try to slow them down. Because otherwise, if you had a nice flowy section, you can go jump like 3, 5 and be out of it. But when you throw those opposite singles there, or you have a tabletop or on off in there, it really slows these guys down. And so I think that's what it is. San Diego was kind of the same way. That long rhythm section right before where Hayden and his teammate got into it, the longer one, you can see the same thing. They had an opposite, a weird jump, and those guys would really try to hit it. So few of those, I believe, is trying to slow the racetrack down without changing a lot of stuff. But nonetheless, I thought the track was good. But back on my point, that section was gnarly. So when ET went over, it wasn't surprising. I was glad that he was all right. But besides him being aggressive on people, his corner speed, his exit speed, it's next level. Like it's legit. When you watch him in the corners, especially like when he's behind somebody, he can go inside wherever he wants. And it's like he changes throughout the racetrack to where even in the Triple Crown, I think he mentioned that, hey, he wasn't more aggressive in the beginning because they're like shorter, but it's almost like he knows he's going to get around these guys. And there's no sense of urgency from him. Like, yeah, he decided this weekend, like, all right, I need to get around and try to pass these guys. But the whole point is like he's there, and then all of a sudden, like he kind of drops back, and then he's there, and it's almost like these guys are holding him up. And again, the way he does it is really his entrance and exits out of the corners. When he was behind Cooper Webb, it looked like Cooper was holding him up. It's like he's holding him up. When he wants to go past Hunter Lawrence, he just drives in and just makes the pass aggressively. But again, that's the part where I go back to Eli, is that we have not seen that. Like, we have not seen it even during beast modes. He didn't have those. He just blew past people on the outside because he was just going way faster. Now it's like he'll run it in on you. Like, you're in my way. And there's somewhat of an attitude, kind of scary. Like, it's like he's kind of getting mad out there. Like, you in my way. I'm going to just move you out the way. And I went back to last weekend when he pushed Jason off. I don't think he would have done that a couple years ago. He would just end up waiting and said, hey, you know what? A third place is what it is. But he saw Cooper Webb was coming. Cooper Webb was hot. Cooper Webb was having a rough 3-race stretch. Cooper Webb probably, hey, Chase did it to me. I'll take you out too. So he knew he had to make the pass, and he just did it. So it's cool to see. Like I said last weekend, there ain't nothing wrong with dude. Dude is riding better than he ever has. It was just another race. Well, at Houston, he took it up a notch. I'm going to be the first person to say it. He was by far the best person in Houston. Yeah, he didn't win. He got third the first race. But when you watch him ride, tell me which rider looks better than him on the motorcycle. I think Ken, anytime he rides, he looks good. Ken always looks good, slinging it, all that. Even Eli looks better than that. And I'm just talking aesthetically, like the way he looks, just flowing. Man, that dude's looking good. There was a moment in I think it was the first race, that long rhythm section, where I would say sometimes he's got to be careful. I think it was right before the finish line. They had this weird, like, mini pocket, and it was like a little one, another little one, and then a bigger one, where those guys had to be really conscious of getting in that G out to get over that 3. Otherwise, he would have done what he did when he crashed in that other section. You could see where Eli kind of he didn't really come up short, but he didn't get the front end deep enough, and the thing started rebounding, and he kind of got like a weird kick. It didn't even flinch him. It would have been scary. You guys will see it. Sure, God show it. I believe it's like right behind Cooper or somebody, but nonetheless, he went in there, and I just saw a lot from Eli that nothing really bothers him, because even that crash, I know I would have been going over the handlebars where he went down. If I was thinking about retiring 3 years ago, the retirement talk would have came back up. Yeah, I survived. I wouldn't have been like, I'm good. I'd have been like, yeah, all right, it's a sign. It's a sign. It's time to go home. Not Eli. He just got pissed and came out and gave them dudes the business on a backup bike. Speaking of that, I got to give him credit. Man, that would have had me shook. I don't like, no bikes are the same. I don't care. The frame's a little bit different. The handlebars, nobody builds like the bike is exactly the same, but they ain't the same. They feel different. I think that's what happened in that third race. He probably was just trying to figure things out. Comes out mad, whole shots. Jeez, I can sit here and talk all days, but I was impressed about the third bike, him switching the bike and being comfortable and then going out and giving those dudes the business easily. That was really impressive because I know no bike is the same. Even though they say the same, they'll build it, they'll put the same suspension. Look, you got a bike you haven't ridden all day, suspension, the oil's cold. A lot of things has changed, but for him to show up and have to come out there and win, especially in that Triple Crown, he knew he needed to win, not to lose too many points. And you got to give that dude credit. And ET, man, damn, going into next weekend, I know another place you love. We better watch out for him because dude looks best than I ever seen him in my whole life. And I've been here a long time. Yeah, dude's good. Like he's legit. So ET, did your thing. Talking about a lot about a guy that didn't even make the podium. That's how good he was. All right, Cooper Webb. I know when those dudes saw him there, like this year has been different because I would say Cooper's riding okay. Like his speed's okay. It was a little bit, Anaheim, like you could tell his speed's okay to where if he's out front, he's always going to be a problem. A longer race, you put Cooper out front at the Anaheim, he wins that race because history, him being mad, dudes just know how strong he is, but you could tell his speed's just a little off, but it's okay. His speed ain't stopping him. It was just the fact that he was getting stuck behind Freeze. Now I know nobody wants to get Freeze, but I mean, it's Cooper Webb. He's got the number one plate. He should be able to get. And we saw it a couple times this year where he just got held up, where I wouldn't even say held up. He just couldn't pass people. So coming into this race, we saw his attitude last weekend where he was like, yeah, pretty much almost stick a nail in the coffin, like it ain't over, but his face kind of said it all. But Cooper Webb's Cooper Webb. And I told you this whole time, no matter what happens, look, you racing for a championship, that's just a different level. Like if Cooper's not racing for a championship, he's falling over like a wet noodle. And I said, it wouldn't be because he ain't trying. It's just different levels to it. It's like a guy that's semi-retired, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I want to send that narrative because I don't want to think people's, Cooper's 1 foot in and 1 foot out. But this year, with all the guys being good, Eli doing his thing, Ken doing his thing, Hunter Lawrence being consistent, and Chase hasn't really found his form, it was going to be a tall test where last year it was really about trying to beat Chase Sexton. In years past, yeah, Cooper had a couple guys, but it was really one guy. Well, this year, he's got 3 or 4 guys better than he is, and not saying that they're overall better, but where he's been at this first few races, being stuck behind Vince, not feeling Cooper Webbish, those guys are finding that form and he's losing too many points. So when you heard him last weekend, it said it all. I'm sure he wasn't too motivated after practice because Eli was looking good all day long. And another thing about Eli, that first practice, dude, he had 6/10, almost second. It looked easy. I don't want to jump back in him, but I got to say that about him. That's when you knew it was over. Just when I say Cooper Webb, when he's fast in practice, oh, we're going to lose tonight. When I saw Eli that much faster and I'm like, damn, he didn't even look like he was trying. I almost said they were going to lose tonight, but hey, they didn't lose tonight, but he still win, even though. Anyways, Cooper he probably wasn't that motivated because of how good Eli was, and nothing really said that it was going to change. He kept doing his business, but the first race, he gets up there, he's like, all right, I'm kind of there. Like, all right, second race, like I'm kind of there. And then the third race, when he sensed that, all right, I got to get around Ken to win this overall, you saw Cooper Webb be Cooper Webb. And Ken rode good. Like, Ken rode really good. And when I say Cooper is probably like the 4th best at this point, fact is that how good Ken was riding, Ken really stayed there. If you kind of flip those positions, almost say, yeah, I know Cooper got around them, but Ken was riding really good enough to be able to beat him, straight up. Like he wasn't really losing too much time. Like he would make a mistake, Ken would close back in. And that's the difference to me to where when I look at the guys that Cooper has to go by, is Ken's riding like that. If Ken was farther out front, Cooper doesn't catch him. He doesn't catch Hunter. He doesn't catch Eli. He doesn't catch, well, I don't know what really happened to Chase. Like, yeah, he fell down. I was going to say he don't catch him, but, that's a different story. But right now, Cooper's not better than all those guys just straight off his speed. He would have to be in a situation where he was this weekend, where he's got to wear him down, and it's at the end of the race. He can get him that way. He can't lose too much time or points. And I think that's what you saw with his attitude. So when Cooper got in there, it was the champ. Like, he figured out how to win, even though he almost died off that finish line that first lap. Woo! They showed the replay. Cooper was like, ah. Luckily, he went off the racetrack and then he got mad. He did his thing. But I'm going to say this about the champ. It was good to see him win. And I know a lot of the guys are like, damn. But I don't know if they're like, damn. And what I mean by that is that there really wasn't much difference between what Cooper did this weekend and last weekend and the weekend prior to that and the weekend prior to that. Well, A1, everybody was shook up because of what happened to Justin. Justin, what up? Always thinking about you out there. You see my brother out there. He hanging in there. But everybody's a little shook up that. But Cooper's kind of riding the same. Cooper was there at Anaheim. He was able to stay with Eli to the point where he kept him honest. And then, then he goes down. But Cooper's been riding that way. So when he won this weekend, I know he was pumped. And it gives him hope. But I don't know if Cooper looks at this as if, oh, yeah, I'm back. Now, if he comes out, which I wouldn't be surprised, and he won this weekend in a regular race, then all hell, break it loose. All right, he's back. But the champ is rode the same as the champ been riding all year. It's just when you get him, you put him in those spots and you leave that little doggy bone hanging out, like he's going to get it and he's going to figure out how to win. And that's the most impressive part. Isn't Cooper winning this weekend like Cooper Webb, right? He didn't win any races. He kind of rode the way he's been every week, like past few weekends, but yet he wins the race and he makes up a bunch of points on Eli. Isn't that like Cooper Webb? It's like, what makes Cooper Webb good? Is it the dad body? I mean, I'm there, so I like the dad body. He's doing this thing. I mean, Cooper's actually really fit, obviously. Is it his speed? No. Is it the way he looks on the bike? No. What's different? I don't know. The dude's just a 3-time champion. Like, yeah, he's just that good, and nobody figures it out. Well, that's what happened this weekend. He won like Cooper Webb. It's like, I don't know what he did, but he ended up winning, and those guys probably out of all the people, maybe outside of Eli, they were like, damn, man, like he won. My whole point to that is that I don't know if Cooper looks at this race and all of a sudden feels like he'll feel better, but I don't know if that gives him enough belief to be like, now I'm back. Now I figured it out. Because again, there really wasn't much that he did different from my standpoint besides being Cooper Webb, which he never lost, that really separated him to made him win that race. So we'll find out, but it was good to see the champ back, and it was huge for him. And when Cooper's mad and mean mugging and he's in his championship, it just only makes everything better. So it was good to see the champ back. All right, let's go to Hunter Lawrence. Hunter's getting better. Hunter's getting better. If it wasn't for that off-track incident right before the mechanics error, he wins the overall. He's riding good, but he's been riding good all year. I'm going to sit here and stop talking about, I haven't been talking about it, but most people have been talking about his opening lap speed. I think he's fixed that. To be honest with you, like, I'm not watching the races outside of Anaheim 1. I'm not watching the races, but like, man, Hunter sucks in the beginning. I don't see that. I broke it down for you last weekend, and that's kind of the way it was. Put the dude out front. He's solid. He's probably the most solid dude out of everybody. He looked good. He looked aggressive. I mean, even the crash right there, I mean, that was pretty easy to happen. And when you look at maybe some of the issues that he's still struggling with, the bike looks a little tall in the front. You can see that bike, once he jumped in that rut, kind of started dancing around. Maybe it's not as much planned as he wanted, but still, that's nitpicking, because if you look behind him, Eli was sitting down and made a mistake off that. So it wasn't like Hunter did anything. You just see his lean angle and it attacking into the corner is not on point. And I'm just comparing that to Eli, because Eli's, I would say, here and everybody else is kind of here. Hunter's like right in the middle, but still Hunter's doing good. I'm really happy because we know with him, he's like fine wine. He's only going to get better. He's only going to get better. Jet going to start riding at some point. Jet going to start, picking that level up. And when those two are working with each other, I've seen it firsthand. He's going to get better because we know how good Jet is. So Hunter's doing exactly what he needs to do. And if it wasn't for him, man, I would almost say this championship. Now, granted, you got things like what happened to Eli. I just don't see that happening that much. I would say this championship is Eli's to lose. I mean, to be honest. And yeah, Eli is definitely the favorite, but we're only at round 4. But Hunter's riding good. And I will say, bad start or Eli's having an off night, Hunter's going to beat him straight up. Hunter can beat him. And yeah, we can see Chase, like he can beat him. But I would say the way if Hunter's able to ride consistently and he's healthy, Hunter's consistent enough to where you ain't got to worry about those off nights, where it's like, dude, what happened? Like, wait, is he stuck behind Vince Freeze? Like, Hunter's kind of elevated himself to where he knows where he belongs, and he's really that guy. So really cool to see. We see Hunter making those passes too. He did it last weekend to Eli. Did it this weekend when he needed to. He's aggressive, and his speed is not an issue. So we can lay off that. It's just, hey, when dude's on form, Eli and some of these other guys, Ken Roxon's just a different breed in the opening laps. Maybe it makes it look like that, but Hunter's straight, and he's definitely going to win some races. I thought it was this weekend, but hey, it could be as simple as next weekend, and we know he's only going to get better. So Hunter's doing a great job. Ken Roxon, solid. Ken's riding really good this year. I thought even he wasn't able to get around Cooper. Ken still rode really good. Now, the guy we want to talk about is Chase Sexton. He's struggling. I mean, he's struggling. And I said last weekend, Chase won that race because Chase is just that good. I didn't really see much difference between the bike wise. Like, even though it's getting better, he looked better this weekend. But still, what I'm seeing for Chase, I don't think I've ever seen, to where it's maybe, as I said last weekend, him just getting used to the frame or something is different. Because when he rides, I'm watching a guy ride, it doesn't like he has confidence in the bike. And it's not because the bike's terrible or working bad. It just looks like he's unsure what's going on. And maybe that's just from the different frames. I don't know. But Chase is usually the guy, even when he falls, it's like, all right, he's falling with like speed, right? In the past, it was like, dude's just gone, bam, he's on the ground. Okay, Chase ain't falling that way now. Like, he almost hit the gate again. He might need to go dog box, just keep everybody, even though he was close to it, like, or maybe he was next to it. He need to really put the horse things on, because when people flinch around him, he just like go. He's just excited. He wants to go. But nonetheless, just something's different with him. And like I said, how good he looked in practice at Anaheim 1, you can't even really say that, okay, it's improvement. Yeah, the bike is improving, but the way he looked at practice, dude looked like he was going to rope-a-dope, ollie-wop all them dudes. And it looked easy. And that's kind of what you see. There's moments where there's just this burst of speed. And a lot of that is set up the way his motorcycle is set up. Like, it's set up to go fast. So the sections where Eli struggled with, and when he goes down, Jake's bike, it don't really look like it likes that. Maybe leaning in the corners, like, it just looks really stiff, and you can see a lot of feedback. After the finish line, that dude couldn't go to the inside to save his life. If he went to the inside on some of the times, like, it was slow. Like, it was one of those things that, okay, I'm going to land, make sure my tires are hooked up, make sure I don't hit this bump, and then I'm going to go, and then I got to try to figure out how to get straight into this whoops because I keep turning and look like I'm going to go off the racetrack. That's how he's riding. And I'm not picking on him because I've been there. Like, I know that. But then it's like, if that's the way your bike's set up, then you land and you pile drive it to the outside. You just charge through the sections, where it looks like Chase ain't really doing either one of those because he's unsure. Like, he wants to go to the inside, but his bike ain't set up to go to the inside. And then, he has those moments where he just goes really fast and he blows past people in the rhythm section, but he don't really do that often. And it really looks like a rider that's stuck and unsure what the motorcycle is set up. Is it set up to go to the outside and really charge, or it's set up like on my KTM where I can get to those flat parts? And instead of him kind of figuring that out, it seems like he's learning that as the race is going on. And that's what I see with him. I just see a rider who's unsure which side of the motorcycle. And it's like he's somewhat racing it like a KTM or Honda, where he's getting on those flat things and turning. But then, like, he also races it like he understands that, oh man, I landed in that rhythm section, I didn't do anything, let me just go a little faster. It's unsure. So when he's practicing, it definitely looks like he's a guy, when he's out front, he's not worried about it. He doesn't have to go to that inside. And when the dude's got clean air, I know y'all hate it, when he's got clean air, he'll beat all of them, right? He'll beat all of them. Last weekend, it was sketchy out front, but those guys couldn't catch him. This weekend, he caught Ken. But when was the last time you seen him? Like, he stalled the motorcycle. That's what he said. But he just kind of fell back. we thought, hey, he gonna catch Ken and just go past him like he would in the past, like this automatic. He's got so much speed, and that's not what you see. He lost the front end in that second race, but hey, that's kind of like when you look at his setup on the bike. That's what I say. It's that unsureness. I don't think I've seen anybody lose the front end that whole race. I mean, I saw guys go down, saw Eli flip, but hey, I didn't see anybody lose the front end. It was like that unsureness, and Chase has got to figure it out because he's a rider that he's with confidence, just like Cooper Webb, just like all these guys. But with him, he can't lose the one thing. He's always going to be fast. You put him on the tricycle, he probably can figure out how to go faster than anybody around that racetrack. But it's the part where when he's going fast now, it looks like he doesn't know how to do it consistent. Like it's different than what he's used to. That's the only way I can say sum it up. Like he's just unsure, and that's a tough position to be in because I don't think, again, when you watch the motorcycle or something like that, you could be like, oh man, that bike sucks. That bike, nah, don't look like that. It's set up the way I thought it would be set up. Like yeah, he struggled, but hell, like they all struggle outside of Eli. Hey, they all struggle, so it ain't that. But when you watch him again, it's not the Chase Sexton. And I think even with the start, him being aggressive off the start, hitting the gate, I think has a little bit to do with the way he feels on the racetrack. He wants to get out front so bad because he knows that there's two different riders, right? Like the bike's easier, or it's easier for him to be out front because he's going to go in his lines and he's going to run his pace. When he gets in a lap traffic, I'll deal with that when I get there. But nonetheless, I don't want to have to go fast because they're going to wait that blue flag for them lappers. They'll eventually get out the way and I'll run my line. I don't want to have to make these passes. And so maybe when he's on the gate, he's so conscious on trying to get a start because he feels like at the moment, that's the most comfortable place he's at. And maybe that's why he's almost, going a little early, a little quick. Car goes sideways, Chase is going forward. Like, hey, but still, have faith in him. He didn't lose too many points. Eli had a rough night, but for sure, kind of like that Cooper Webb, you're kind of waiting like it's last weekend was more of a false sense. And I think that's why, again, Chase was so happy because he figured it out, even though the way he was feeling. But I believe in those guys. He's got the right crew. I know he's got the right mechanic behind him. Even though he had a great mechanic last year and Jade, but he has the right people to get his mind right. Those guys will figure it out, and they need to because their riders shook. I've seen that position before. I retired. I was done. Hey, when the rider don't know what's going on, it ain't nothing going on. At least it was for me because I'd be night. So Chase is doing a good job out there, but you could tell he's a little shook. All that being said, it really didn't matter how good Eli was. Hunter Lawrence, yeah, he was good. Chase Sexton had a few good laps, had a good race, got second in the first main. Ken Roxon, solid. He almost had that thing won. Hunter Lawrence almost had that thing won. But just how I came on the show, damn. And I'm serious. If Eli didn't look so good, he'd be like, damn. And I know he's still like, damn, I don't want to have to race that dude. But Cooper Webb does what Cooper Webb does. And what is that? I don't know. What does he do? I don't know. All I know, he's stacking chips with dip. And just when he was nailing the coffin, we were throwing sand on him. I mean, Cooper Webb, he already wrote his thing, like his speech when he was gone, already signed off the wheel. He's out. He just can't kill the champ like that. Champ's always going to be the champ. And Cooper, not a lot of people saw it coming. I didn't see it coming, but I knew it always would come. And what came was we got to hit it for him with a neck burn. Cooper Webb, the champ, was back. Damn. No, a lot of people didn't like to see that. It was good to see you smile out there. We'll figure out if the champ's back officially. Does the champ believe he's back? All I know is that the champ, when he get back, he can go to the bank and roll that check up. And that means, hey, it's a lot of zeros. I'm back, whatever it is. So, Coop, good to see you out there doing your thing. I know it's been a struggle, but the champ ain't never dead. Even when you give back, when the champ dead, he ain't dead. He just come back. He just making John Wicks out there. We're going to call him Cooper Wick. Just how many times can this dude get shot and get hit by cars and he just ain't dead? And then when he died, we go to his funeral, he's still alive. It's Cooper Wick, part 50.
Good job, champ. Good to see that. All right. Hayden Deegan. I'm just going to go with him, right? Because there ain't no point of talking about everybody else. I thought Max rode good that third race. I thought Max was about that violence, and shoot, he had me scared. But hey, I guess he understands you messing with a different beast. Beast. It ain't Danger Boy. It's Beast Boy. Whatever. I said coming into the season, Hayden had a lot of pressure on him. He had to show the naysayers he is good as he thinks he is and what he looks. Or you have the other side that's like, man, you're wasting your time because why we can't? We already ready to go. I think I heard it on the broadcast. Somebody said it like, man, I can't even wait to see him move up. Dude just won 10 races, his whole career, whatever. Hayden, bruh, hey, give it to you, boss. Those are beat down from the loins right there. Hayden Deegan, you gave him the business. And I said last weekend that Hayden, when he makes passes with authority. Like there's a reason to do it. Even when Levi, we'll talk about the pass in I think it's the third race or whatnot, third race, I don't know. Hayden won all of them, so they all kind of blend in, but they were different. People thought and probably maybe a little bit, when he made that pass, Levi came in, little signs of actually what happened in St. Louis, even though I think it was different. I think Levi understood that, all right, I wasn't able to beat Hayden straight up that first race. So the speed difference and the way this track is, Hayden love rolling those 180s, dudes just rolling. So Hayden's got that confidence. Levi wasn't able to catch him. He was able to stay there, but he wasn't really a threat. He knew he needed to make that pass instantly. So I think the difference between St. Louis and this one was that Levi was trying to make that pass because he knew the way Hayden's riding, I can't be behind him. I got to get him while it's hot. Got to get the flapjacks. It's like, what is the old donut place? Krispy Kreme. Show up when the light's on. Levi saw that light on, that Krispy Kreme donut. He knew he had to get it while it was hot. So the difference is, I believe the St. Louis pass and this one, even though they looked like they were about to be the same, Levi just knew he had to make that pass right there because Hayden was faster all day. But what Hayden did when he made it back, and I don't know if he did this on purpose or not, when he cut Levi off and he looked back, maybe that was a little leg swag or whatnot, so just a little attitude. But when he did that, it was pretty smart because what it did was it allowed him to kind of get away where Levi couldn't get back on that inside and that 180. Because if he would have just passed him back and kept his speed up going into whoops, Levi would have had that same speed. And no matter what, unless Hayden would have slammed on the brakes, which then Levi would have ran in the back of him, he would have slammed on the brakes and go to the inside right there. Hayden would have had to go outside. Even if he squared that, basically went straight into that bowl corner, he would have had to leave the outside open because his momentum in the whoops. Levi probably would have die-bummed him after Hayden did the look back. So whether he did it on purpose or not, by Hayden slowing down and basically almost coming to a stop, when he slowed down, made Levi slow down. When Hayden gassed it, then Levi had to gas it. That split second allowed Hayden to get that gap to where he could actually get through those whoops and then hit that outside and get away from him. Because if he would have kept that momentum up, Levi would have went back in there because of his momentum, and he had all the rights to it. Once Hayden looked back, it was game on. So that was pretty impressive. Hayden made a couple passes that whole race that just seems different, right? Every pass, since he went down with Max, took Max out last weekend, what he did to Michael, Hayden is riding just like I thought he would have to. Those naysayers that said, hey, he's not that good, that's why he went back to the 250. You have to show us something. Well, Hayden's showing us something. And I've said earlier that, hey, this championship might be the most difficult one for him to win. And it still might, because I think Levi's still really good. Levi will win one of these races. Maybe when Hayden's wrapping up this championship, he get a bad start. He's like, all right, I'll just get whatever I get. I don't know, because the way Hayden's riding, like he's just that level, and not like it's a speed to where when we see Chase on or beast mode, it's not that tight. Like it's not like it's way better, but when you watch Hayden, he's way better. And his confidence, the way he's whipping it, the way he's passing dudes. JT mentioned on the broadcast that he didn't think that he was actually going to pass, Levi in that race. Shit, nuh-uh. Dude's just riding different. Like he's just riding different. that pass, it means something. What it means is that he's just going to the front. So Hayden's showing everybody he looks the part. He's gotten better. And I was curious, even myself, like how much better would he get? Would his mind be thinking about 450? I'm sure he is. But what dude's doing right now, you're watching him, like he looks like, yeah, he ready. Like he ready. Now that doesn't mean he's gonna go in there and win next year, but it looks like once he's finished his championship up, dude's ready. He's ready to move up and find out what it's about. Whatever that's about, we're gonna figure it out. But dude looks that ready. And so my whole point it is, you could tell when a rider is in that zone because there's a difference between winning and dominating. And it doesn't have to be by 30 seconds. People always used to think that, hey, James always wins by a minute. If he just slowed down, like he would just win less than a minute. Because you're right on that point. Nah, most people saying, if he would have just slowed down, he wouldn't crash. No. Or I was trying to prove a point. No, it's just once you get locked in, like the way I race is that's how I'm just going to end up being a minute faster. A lot of times I was 2 minutes slower. Who knows? But Hayden is riding with a purpose. And when you watch a guy, he looks like Jet Lawrence did at the end of his 250 career. He looks like Ricky did. He looks like, all the guys that moved up is like, yeah, that dude is. Every year in the 250 championship, like last year in the East Coast, there was 3 dudes in there. Tom Vial won the championship, but we didn't really think he was the best one, at least after the mud race. I mean, he was pretty much most consistent. Like there's guys that win championships or guys that win a lot of races, but not like, damn, dude's going fast. That's Hayden Deegan. And so you could tell it's just building and building. And last weekend, what he was able to do to Levi, I think Levi was his biggest threat because I don't know if it's Max banned from the Disney pass or whatnot. He don't look like Max. He almost looks like he's riding hurt to me, but that's speculative because I thought he'd be better. To me, it's like he ain't about that life, and Hayden is about that life. And the fact that Hayden is willing to unapologetically take his ass out, not on purpose, not dirty, and then he comes in, moves Michael leg out the way, come in and pass Levi when JT didn't, or most people didn't even think that he was going to pass him. And the way he's doing, Hayden's just different, right? And you could just see it growing and growing. Come here. Now, what I need you to say is that, hey, Hayden, I'm sorry for stopping Daddy from talking about you. Say it in the mic. Look at the camera.
Hey, Hayden, I'm sorry for stopping Daddy. What?
Because Daddy is about to give you a neck burn.
A neck burn.
Let me finish. Anyways, Hayden, just like dude in this little bathroom break, you're just fast. Is with a purpose. He went in that bathroom, used the bathroom for a purpose. His purpose is he wants to get on a video game. So he's just going to get it done. Move anybody out the way. Interrupt Daddy while he's talking about Hayden Deegan and giving Hayden Deegan a net burn. Nobody's going to stop him because his whole goal is the video game, just like your whole goal is the neck burn. Not just the normal neck burn. You want to get burnt like suntan. Like my neck's just crispy. Hayden, you looking good. Levi, keep your chin up. You're working. Dude's just there. Like you're there. But nonetheless, Hayden Deegan, it was good. You're getting better and better and better. Beautiful to watch. All right, people. That's it from round 4, whatever, from Houston, where we saw the champ come back. We'll figure out if the champ's officially back, but the champ was back. We saw a lot of things. We saw Chase almost hit the gate, but he didn't. We saw Eli hit, like, dang, boy, hit hard. That bike hit him too. Like, man, I dare you drop it. Bam! That's how he was. We saw Hunter Lawrence jump off the track. We saw a lot of different things. But we also saw Hayden Deegan just continue to rise up. And you knew he was going to be tough, man. Those bold corners. Hey, I got to give the credit. Dude be rolling in the corners. Hey, dude be rolling in the corner. He like leaning over like, ah! That's how he is. But hey, it was good to see you guys going to have your hands full. And we'll see what we see next weekend, round 5. Congratulations, champ. Congratulations, Hayden. Eli, damn, boy, you looking good, dude. Man, you looking good. It ain't beast mode. It's flow mode, whatever it is. All right, people. I'll see you next Almost said next year. I'll see you when I see you, which would be next week, next Tuesday, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. All right.